were very excited when Jeffery Dean Morgan was announced for season 4 of The Boys. His character remained a mystery, but it's now been confirmed that Morgan will be playing Howard Kessler, aka Monkey. But who is Monkey? And what can we expect from Morgan's character? Howard Kessler was introduced in the very first issue of The Boys. Kessler is a CIA analyst that Butcher uses and quite literally abuses. Right away, Kessler is established as a sex pest, as in the very first panel, we see that he is pleasuring himself to images on his computer of a paraplegic woman. We learn that Butcher has a thing for kicking Kessler in the balls, so much so that Kessler blames his sexual dysfunction on this. Basically, anytime Butcher needs intel, he goes to Kessler. There isn't too much to Kessler in the comics. He seems only to be used for shock value, and like a lot of what he does in the comics, I simply don't want to get into. Kessler also seems to highlight how sadistic and cruel Butcher can be, especially to someone he deems as pathetic. So why is he called Monkey? Sadly, that backstory is just as juvenile and unpleasant as anything in the comic version of The Boys. Let's just say the cleaned up version of events is Kessler's ears were assaulted by two monkeys. Yes, really.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
And therefore, Butcher reminds him of this at any chance he can. Also, don't get me started on the really unpleasant event with Butcher's dog Terror and Kessler, which you can look that one up for yourself. Thankfully, it's doubtful that Jeffery Dean Morgan will be playing the sleazy, gross out Kessler from the comics, though it will remain to be seen if he will be indeed called Monkey, and if that unsettling backstory will even be featured. From the little bit we get to see from the trailers, him and Butcher definitely seem to have history together, but nothing as abusive as the comics. I can see some fighting going on, but probably nothing to the scale of the original source material. The showrunners have done a great job so far in keeping the boys edgy and brutal, but steering away from the more crass and cringy elements featured in the comics. This makes me excited because a badass like Morgan is someone who seems so far from the Kessler portrayed in the comics. That Kessler is spineless, a sexual predator, and seems to get his ass kicked by Butcher at every opportunity, as well as more depth and backstory to his character. I'm curious what kind of history he will have with Butcher and how his CIA background helps his missions. Personally, I wouldn't be shocked if Kessler ends up betraying the boys at some point in the series. But what do y'all think? Are you a fan of this character in the comics? Are you like me and you've never heard of him before? Let me know what you think, and I hope you enjoyed this episode of Character Deep Dive, and I will see you in the next video.